Here's the original campsite that we first started with a sorry looking stream in the back corner. So we've got a few more pieces that hopefully can transform the site from a very flat and bare site to a more scenic site. Here's a whole stack of pieces that I'm going to be using, which I've just dumped onto the side. And looking through all of the pieces, well, the majority of it is vegetation. A couple of supports there, but realised I'm actually lacking something. So what the idea is to have some raised areas in the campsite, and realised that I'm seriously missing parts to help me do this. Of course, I'm talking about bricks. So here's a new parcel that I ordered from Amazon. The beauty of Amazon is next day delivery. So here's me opening the package that I received and opening the box. And what's been included with the bricks is 2 32 by 32 base plates, 1 green and 1 grey. Oh, and some pink flowers as well. I'm sure they'll come in handy. And here's the bag of bricks. Various different colours in there. I'm sure that I can use most of them effectively, like the green ones and the blue ones for the stream. And I can pull the white ones out for maybe a snowy area at a later date, and the rest I can use to raise some plates so the colours would be hidden. Without really thinking about it, being a complete novice that I am, I just cracked on building onto the site without realising the complications I'll be running into. So I started marking out sections around the site with slopes, then filling it in with blocks that can be hidden later. I was using all different kinds of green slopes. I was using 1x1 slopes, 2x2 slopes, 2x3 slopes, and the odd 1x1 stud. This is where I'm making the elevation using 8x16 plates, so it gradually rises for the back where the stream's going to be. Then I started building downwards with 2x8 plates. As soon as I placed the mounting pieces on was when I realised I made a mistake and doing this totally the wrong way. I wasn't too happy with the height going up so steeply, especially in a short distance. I mean, I do want a mountaineer effect, but not so quickly or close. Then I looked over at the minifigures. Yeah, one was on the back cracking up, and the other one looked as though he was leaving. Totally had enough. So I ordered a new parcel. Unfortunately, it didn't contain any common sense. But this is my first attempt at building something like this, and I'd expect quite a few mistakes probably, especially silly ones. So it's back to Amazon, good old Amazon. So what did I get this time? Well, I got myself a pack of 4 strictly double-sided base plates, which I'll be attempting my first time at building Mills plates, which will be easier to join together. I also had to order some 1x4 Technic bricks and some pins, but making this at the time, they'd not arrived, so I can add those later. With the first plate done, I started afresh and a little bit more thought into it. Obviously not enough thought, because I just started placing a lot of the elements back on, not realising that I'd need to get around the back of it to place some more bricks. At this point I thought I was doing really well. I really must make a mental note of not to put some main features on first. So I started marking out the stream with various bits and pieces. Well, first thing that I could actually get my hands on. And still wanted to stream roughly where it was to start off with. The original stream was about 3 studs wide at the widest point. And when I was building this one, I think it was about 8 studs wide. And once I was satisfied with the shape of the stream, I started using brown bricks as the banks. Then I started on the stream using blue in the middle and a lighter blue near the banks. In this there was 3 different shades of blue, darker pieces in the middle, hopefully to represent deeper parts, and the lighter bricks towards the banks of the stream to represent a shallowy area. A couple of trans 1x2 plates and some 1x2 smooth trans plates, and a very dark 1x2 plate at the bottom, which I only used because it was there in my hand. Also in the stream I was using the clear 1x1 slopes and some blue and trans blue 1x1 plates as well. So I was getting carried away with building the stream, realising that my stream was now turning into a river. Not initially what I wanted, but thinking about it, I could do more with a flowing river than what I can do with a stream. So I took a quick video with my phone. You can have to excuse a slight shakiness, but here you can see the level of flow. Starting at the top, I put a couple of rock features to the sides, and you can see the flow of the river coming down. Back to finishing the river. Another thing I was unsure of, I was in 2 minds of if I was going to use trans blue pieces to cover the river, but if I left it as it was I'd have the look of a more raw effect. You'll have to let me know. Should I cover it with smooth tiles? Don't know. So now I started building up the level around the side and the front, using the green 2x8 plates and also using the 1x8 plate as well. I didn't want the sides going as high as what the stream was. All I wanted was when I get some more base plates on the other side, a kind of like rolling effect. So it basically is like that'll probably be about as high as it will go and then back down again on the other side. Then onto the shaded seating area, which was a good thing that I started, placing the table in the middle there and the chairs over the top. Then I ran into a problem. The pieces at the end of the string wouldn't click into place, and somehow they seemed just a little bit too big. So to fix this problem, I used a 1x2 plate and a 1x1 plate just to pin it down, and that worked a treat. This then prompted me to fix the picnic table. It's built of 1x1 plates and getting quite annoyed with the plates falling off. So I put in a couple of 1x1 studs and then fixed the plates down. So here I started building up at the front again on the other side, and I left a gap big enough for a pathway to go through. If I can keep the pathway around about 5 studs wide, it might be wide enough to get a bicycle through. We don't want any vehicles going through. Then I started on the cobblestone effect. When I started this, I was thinking it might be a little bit too colourful for the setting. I was actually really doubting myself. Maybe I should have just used grey pieces. But I stuck along with the initial idea. For this I was using the 1x1 round tile and the 2x2 round tile. I didn't have any of the quarter tiles for this, but I will be using them in the future. So what I've done with the trail is gone in a few directions and also placing some tree stumps close to the cobblestones to give the effect that they've been chopped down for the path. Now I started onto the vegetation, building up on the raised parts with different coloured leaves, and also I didn't realise the cam footage was missing part where I was building, so you can only see me building on one side of the river. It's quite annoying. The leaves and the stem pieces really make a difference. Just building up round the river, placing a few trees there as well. Placing all of the leaves and the stems was really satisfying. You could start seeing a complete difference. For a lot of the shrubbery I was using leaf bits, green, light green and dark tan. And for the stem pieces I had 4 different shades of that. I had dark green, green, olive and again dark tan. And here I started placing a couple more larger trees. On one of the larger trees I put some leaf pieces on there just to see how it would look, and it actually turned out okay. Yeah, quite happy with that. The other tree I left alone for the moment. I'm unsure whether I'm going to do anything with that. And I've still got the little trolley with the fish in there. I'll probably leave that where it is. Now I started placing a few bits of vegetation around the cobblestones. I didn't want to place too much vegetation around the cobblestones. It'll probably start looking very silly. So while I was building this, I was thinking that I'd need something at the entrance, maybe a farmhouse or something similar, and started looking for ideas, which there wasn't that many mocks or sets for really, but I do need something. That's when I come across this, a farm store. It could be perfect for the entrance, and also you can buy bits and pieces there. I've not purchased it yet, but I'm not against the idea of getting this. What do you think? What do you think to the idea of this? So now it's all very close to being finished. I've still got the A-frame cabin to put in, which will be the next task. And also round the back of here, I'll need a few more bits and pieces like trees and a little bit more shrubbery. And I also might take out the telescope. It's quite a big thing really. Placed all of the animals back, it's like squirrels back, the birds and the otters. Also looks as though the woman stopped laughing now and actually got up and now looking at all the food on the table. I'll tell you what, the guy with the blonde hair has not moved away from that barbecue set at all. I'm sure he's put on a couple of stone there. And there's the telescope. It's quite a big thing really. I think I might be right in taking that out. And here you can see a couple of tree stumps and the cobblestone path leading under the tree. I might stick a couple more trees over there. And here's a couple of birds in the bushes and a river with quite a few elements on there. And a shot of the rock with water surrounding it. And I didn't realise that there were 2 squirrels looking at each other across the bank of the river. A couple of dogs running around. So the shot of the built up areas at the front here, and around the side where the big tree is, I might put some more trees would look good there. Basically it's like it encloses it. And here's an otter hiding in the bushes, probably hiding from the dogs. And if you've not seen it already, a bright orange stud in the middle there. It's something that I missed, but I'm going to leave it there. And a wonky cooking pot. Always need a wonky cooking pot at a campsite. And the original road signs from the very start. I think the tree stumps are a great inclusion. Where you can see there were trees there once. There's a couple more plain areas, but I don't really want to overfill it. I think it'll be too much if I do that. So now we're coming towards the end of the video. You'll have to let me know your thoughts of the river. Should I put the flat tiles on the river? Still unsure about that. And the farm store as the entrance. And I've also got the cabin to be added next. So yeah, I've got the cabin to be added next, and I also got another Lego set, 60202, which also has a tent and a whole heap of minifigures. Until next time.
Like and subscribe.